You're exactly right in that we do like moats, and we used to be able to identify them in a newspaper that was the only newspaper in town, or in TV stations where we felt the dominant positions, and we felt the product was underpriced in terms of advertising. We saw it in brands sometimes, and it is true that in the tech world, if you can build a moat, it can be incredibly valuable. I've not felt the confidence that I was the best one to judge that in many cases. It wasn't hard to figure out who was winning at any given time or what their business was about, but there were a huge number of people that knew more about the game than I did. And we don't want to try and win at a game we don't understand. We may hire people, such as Ted and Todd, that are better at understanding certain areas of investing than I am, or maybe even Charlie is. But the principles haven't changed. You're right that some of the old ones have lost their moat, and you're right that there are going to be companies in the future that have them that will be enormously valuable, and we hope we can identify one every now and then, but we'll still stay within where we think we know what we're doing, and obviously we'll make mistakes even within that area. But we won't go into something because somebody else tells us it's a good thing to do. I mean, we are not going to subcontract your money to somebody else's judgment. You can take your money and follow somebody else's judgment, but we're not in the business of thinking that if we hire 10 people with specialties in this area or that it will lead to superior investment results. And we do worry that we could blow a lot of money that way. So we'll do our best to enlarge the circle of competence of the people at Berkshire so that we don't miss so many. But we'll miss a lot in the future. We missed a lot in the past. The main thing to do is to find things where our batting average is going to be high. And if we miss the biggest ones, that really doesn't bother us as long as the things we do with money work out okay. Charlie?
Well, I think we've still got an awful lot of companies with big moats, and a lot of them are and some of our industrial brands were just incredibly strong in the niches we're in. So the Berkshire shareholders don't need to worry about we're just one big morass of unprofitability or anything like that. But we have not covered ourselves with glory in the new fields.
We won't end up all in buggy whips, though, or anything. But it's a very good question, and it's what we focus on all of the time. And
we're trying to improve.
And we hope we see you back here for your fourth next year.
Warren and Charlie, after your ownership has been completely distributed, will Berkshire be more vulnerable to activist investors? I'm guessing this isn't something that keeps you up at night, but thought it was worth asking.
No, it's going to happen quite a few decades after my death. I don't think I'll be bothered much by it.
Well, anything can happen. It's a low probability. It can't happen for a lot of years in terms of the way my stock gets distributed and in terms of the way other stock is held. But in the end, Berkshire should prove itself over time. There are no perpetuities, and it needs to deserve to be continued in its present form. It has a lot of attributes that are maximized by being in one entity, which people don't fully understand. They think if you spin off something that would command a high PE, that therefore value has been unlocked, which is totally nonsense. I mean, it's already built in. And one day out, you might have an extra 3% or 5% in price, but over the years, we want to keep the wonderful businesses. But eventually, I think the culture will remain one of a kind. I think that we will be able to do things other people can't do. I think that the advantages of having them in one spot will likely be significant over time. And if that happens, no activist is going to take it over. And if the model doesn't work for some reason over a long period of time, then something else should happen. Charlie?
Nothing more.
Okay. Charlie, didn't you have that friend of yours that was trying to get Al Yoshi to pass him when he shouldn't?
Well,
You remember that story of your friend that wanted to have flight safety?
oh, yes.
Yeah, credit. Why don't you tell him? I mean, Al Yoshi, who started flight safety with a few $1,000s and a little visual simulator or whatever it may have been at LaGuardia. I mean, he really cared about saving lives, and he made a lot of money in the process, but he was dedicated throughout his lifetime to truly train better pilots and reduce the chance of accidents dramatically. It was a mission with him, and that spirit still continues. And as I say, we've got I can't tell you the percentages, I don't know, but I know it's very high of certainly the corporate business. We have government business, we have some airline business and all of that, but I don't expect any great change in the flight training business. But tell them about your friend, Charlie.
Well, of course, people pass those tests with flying colors, and some of them just barely pass. And one of my friends just barely passed, and they called me and told me it's an art in the business.
Flight safety would not.
They care about everything.
care.
They watch the details.
They care. And those simulators can cost over $10 million. I mean, and they're dedicated, obviously, to a given model of plane. You might find it interesting at NetJets. At NetJets, our pilots only fly one model. I mean, most charters and all those, I'm sure initially they could fly other models and all of that, but we just want them. We want them to be flying one model, and we give them a maximum amount of training annually. And when I bought the company for Berkshire, and I think it was 1998 or thereabouts, the thought obviously bothered me that I would have a significant percentage of people would be friends of mine that were using it, and you'd hate to have anything happen. I use it, my family uses it, our managers use it, and there's nobody that cares more about safety. But I don't see than at NetJets. It's a first-class operation.
They've never killed a passenger.
No.
They had one pilot who hit a glider at 16,000 feet, and it was kind of a difficult landing.
It was more than a difficult
They never
landing.
killed it was a woman pilot, yeah.
She was flying the next day. The co-pilot was kind of taken out of operation but this woman ended up almost with the control panel in her lap because this guy had turned off his battery and hit one of our hawkers. And she had one shot at the runway, and she brought it in, and we've had some remarkable training and pilots there. You should ask for her if you're flying on NetJets. Station 10.